Wix, one platform, any website. Unlimited.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Everybody, 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 everybody. What's going on, man? How y'all doing? I'm here on time. See what? Pull up in the Zoom. Pull up in the Zoom, see what? Hey Tim, what is Zoom link? And then what everybody kept asking the other day. Hey Tim, what is Zoom link? What's going on, Jim? How you doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Nobody responded. I told. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. If this is your first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, please allow me to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, I still want to say welcome. But I want to give you a nice hearty, well, thank you for always tuning into Tim's Tidbits. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., aka Arania Grande. And around here, you know what we say? I'm not a bull or a bear. I'm a beast. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Trade them going up, trade them going down. Just trade price action around here. And y'all are now happily in tune to another episode of drum roll, please. The intraday price action recap. You feel me? Hey man, How y'all doing today, man? Y'all drop something in the chat so I can say what's up to my folks so I can see who up in here. Who all is up in here today? Who all is up in here today? All right. We got Jim in here. Well, we did have Jim in here. I don't know where Jim went. Jim used to be in here. Jim left me, y'all.
I'm in the Zoom.
Why I don't see you? I just see me in the Zoom. It just says Tim over there. Oh, because that's I got the wrong screen over there. I got the main screen. Let me put this over here. I'm gonna put this over here. That always be confusing me because the main screen, I got two monitors, and when I'm just showing my camera, I look the same on both. You know what I'm saying? So I'll put that over there. That's why I couldn't see you, because it was the main screen that I was looking at. All right. Y'all charge it to my head. Seawalk was in the Discord, but he disappeared. Guess he might have went to the he might have gone to the YouTube. All right. We got Here to Learn and Share over there on the tube. We got Kim. Kim said, "Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday." We got Empire Tradings in here. What's going on, Empire? We got Johnny J. Johnny J. If this is not your first time tuning in, Johnny J, I jollipies. But Johnny J, that name just don't strike me as being familiar. I probably said this before to you, but welcome, Johnny J. And if it's not your first time, I truly jollipies. I try to remember names. I try to. I really try to. But y'all be having different names for YouTube and Discord and IG, and I can't keep up with the names. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like one of the few people in the world who has their real name on their YouTube channel. Everybody else, it's like, Free to Be Me 92. Here to Learn and Share. Shop Girl BK. my wife, Perfect As I Am. JMZ. JMZ. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Rhonda Green. Rhonda Green, she's another one. Rhonda got her real name. Deborah got her real name. Kim, I'm assuming. Seawalk, I'm on here for now, trying to figure out how to get on the Zoom. With the link. The link that was in the chat. When you went into the voice, there's a link inside the chat to pop on to inside the voice chat, not like the main chat or because the voice channels have a chat too. The voice channels have a chat too. So when you click on the voice channel, it's going to ask you to join it, or you can either join it or just look at the chat. All you got to do is just look at the chat, and it's inside the chat. That voice chat that had y'all in the headlock for the last couple of days. It had y'all in the headlock. we got to do a pop-up on how to find a link inside the voice chat. Do it seem like I'm real close to y'all right now? When I do this right here, am I real close to y'all? What y'all, who that? Oh, wait a minute. What that back there? What that back there I see? Rhonda, what's that back there on that shelf? Yeah. No. On the yeah. Right there. What's that back there on that shelf? Okay. Deborah talking about she at work. Deborah, you ain't at work. But yeah. What it is I see back there. Hey man, did Price do anything today? That caught anybody off guard? Did price do anything that, you know what I'm saying, made you say, why did price do that? Did price do anything that made you say, why did price do that? Nothing. Nothing. All right, let's go ahead and get to it, man. Let me share my screen. All right, going to share my screen. The Conquer the Asian session. It's coming. It's coming. There's a link in the description for if you want to participate. Feel free, be my guest. We talk about it every day. No need to talk about it today. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this price action. All right. Let's pop up. Let's go all the way up to the monthly. We're gonna pop up. Sometimes you gotta pop out a show. All right, we're gonna pop up here. My knee itching. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been outside working for like a few days. I didn't go out there today. I didn't do no work outside today. My mom had an issue with a car. And so I had to help her out, help my mom out. And come to find out it wasn't the key fob. It was her actual battery in her car. And so I went and got a new battery. Batteries are, let me say this, man. Let me say this right here. For anybody who's an adult and you have a vehicle, you already know this. You already feel my pain. Batteries are freaking expensive. Batteries are freaking expensive, right? So I went to Walmart and got the battery because at Walmart, the battery was $180, right? At AutoZone, the battery for her car was $250. At Walmart, it was $180. So I went to Walmart. But I just feel like it's ridiculous for a battery to cost $180, right? Not to mention $250, but $180 for a battery. Man, I got it from Walmart. I didn't check Sam's. We don't have a Costco in Columbus. We just have Sam's. Right? We don't have a Costco. We just got Sam's. I didn't check Sam's, but I checked Walmart. And the reason I always go to Walmart because I get a discount at Walmart. Right? I get a 10% off discount at Walmart. That's why I always check Walmart for everything. All right. Today's low. Why didn't it continue to sell off instead of rallied up? Empire Tradings. If you would have been on who's on here that was on the tape reading stream today? Who can tell Empire Tradings why it didn't continue to sell off and it start to rally? Right. This morning during the tape reading session, didn't we talk about it? What did we say? What did we say this morning? Who would somebody like to tell Empire Tradings why it didn't continue to sell off today? Anybody? Rhonda, you was on the tape reading stream. Would you like to tell? You was one of those lucky Lou's on the tape reading stream. Would you like to tell Empire Traders why? Where's my? It seems like a lot of people were expecting it to continue to drop. I had to drop off. Yeah, you did. I noticed you wasn't on there no more, but you was on there when we was talking about Price had switched to a buy program. You was on there when we had marked out the high and the low. Remember, we was on there when you marked out the high and the low, right? And then, because it had already switched to a buy program. Jim, you was on there. Would you like to share, Jim? Y'all hold on. I got something caught in my teeth, man. I'll be right back. No, I got to go get my water pick and get something out my teeth. I got to go get my water pick and get something out of my teeth. Look. Went with the floss, it was faster. The floss was faster than putting water in the water pick. Just went with the floss instead. Now, what'd you say? You'll learn to share. I mean, Rhonda, the higher time frame PD array, the 5-minute Bessie. No, the 5-minute Bessie is not what sent it up. The 5-minute Bessie is not what sent it up. Right. So this morning, right? This morning, right? If we look here, right? Let's do this right here. Boom. All right. This right here. Price getting ready to start at 9:30. Right? Price is getting ready to start at 9:30. All right. This is what this price getting ready to start at 9:30. So before we even zoom out, right? Now, Empire Tradings, right? You still there? You still there, Empire Trading? All right. This is what I'm gonna do, right? Because I be needing people to talk to me. Empire Traders, can you speak right now? Can you talk right now to me vocally? Or are you going to say, I'm at work and I can't talk right now? Can you speak to me vocally right now? Huh? Huh? Can you I mean, I know you're on YouTube, but can you speak right now? Like if I wanted you to talk to me verbally right now, can you speak to me right now? Yes or no? I know where you are. All right. Click that link right there. Empire Traders, and anybody else who wants to verbally talk to me via Zoom, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link right there and come into the Zoom so that we can verbally talk back and forth. Can y'all see the link? Make sure I share the right link. Yes, that's the right link. Downloading. What you downloading? It's just Zoom. You got to download Zoom to get in it? You got to download Zoom to get in it? Y'all blame Empire Traders for this hold up. Oh, no. I'm sleep. Hey, no, you had to download. Seawalk, did you just get that link off YouTube? Did you just get that link off YouTube?
Yeah, man.
Get that link off YouTube.
Hey, look.
Hey, you got to mute one of them now, Seawalk. You either got to mute.
Hey,
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I was on the Discord looking everywhere for it, man.
Let me show you, right? When you're in the Discord, right? When you're in the Discord, if you just click on the voice, right, it asks you if you want to join it. But if you click on the little open chat, right, it shows you the chat. See the chat right over here? There's the link right there.
Okay.
Yeah, right there what Deborah said, I'll watch the replay, right? That's the link right there. But if you just click on, like, if I get out of this voice, if I just click on it, see, it just takes me in there. But you have, like, you might not see it. You see what I'm saying? It just takes you in there. But if you click on the open chat, or if you click on this little open chat bubble below the show chat, then it'll show you like the chat. It ain't like the regular channels where you click on it and you automatically see the chat.
Right.
With the voice, if you don't have the chat open, then you can go in there and you never see the chat. You got to show the chat to see the link. So
Okay,
what I do, I'm gonna stop putting it in the voice chat. I'm just gonna start putting it in the main chat, cause that done had y'all in the headlock for a couple of days. That had y'all in the headlock for a couple of days.
Definitely
Jada, pull up in the Zoom, Deb. I mean Jada. You stress Seawalk out. Hey man, I'm sitting up here waiting on Empire Traders to click that link. Man. Empire Traders, I'm about to move on, man. I'm about to move on. I want to walk through this, but y'all know I be needing my class participation. And Empire Trade talk, he got to download Zoom and all that. He got to do this, he got to do that. All right. Okay, man, let's get into it, man. Let's get into the price action. Okay. Looking at price, right? Looking at price. Let's just, matter of fact, let's go back. Let's walk through price for the whole week. We're going to walk through price for the whole week. The whole entire week. And my son be driving me crazy when he be back there playing games. Why does that say 331? I never changed the. Where's my new week opening gap for this week? What am I new? Did I delete my new week opening gap? No, I didn't. I just didn't change the name of it. That's the one I copied from last week. I just didn't change the name of it. I didn't change the name of it. All right. So, all right. So we're gonna look at price for the whole week. Look at it on daily candles first. All right, on daily candles first. Looking at price for the whole week. What you got? What you got? You got 2G over there, Empire Trades. You got 2G. It's taking you a long time. Oh, I see somebody say Stock Moon. Stock Moon. Is that Empire Trading? Who is that? Stock Moon.
What's up?
Is that Empire Trading?
Yes, sir.
I was just talking about these 50 names. I was just talking about oh my God. Stock. You got Empire Traders and you got Stock Moon over here. What is it? I was just talking about these 50 names. What is it? It's got to be a younger than 50 thing. It's got to be a younger than 50 thing. All right. So Empire Traders. Here we go. Nice talking to you. Empire Traders. What you want me to call you Empire Traders, or you want me to call you by your actual name?
Just call me Empire Trading. Yeah.
The Fed's looking for you. I got it. The Fed's looking for you. Empire Traders it is. So I'm gonna go here, knock this off. 9:30. Boom. Okay, so you want to know which low you want to know why it didn't go to? Which low you was down here, the daily low here?
The 10:30 though.
The who
Somewhere
low?
around 10:30.
You said around 10:30?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna get to that in a second. All right. So before 9:30 even open up, right? I ain't studying here to learn this shit. Feds watching her too. Okay, so when we look at yesterday's price, right? When we look at yesterday's price, so we always want to remember, Empire Traders, are you familiar with like the ICT concepts, or you just kind of dabble with them and you trade something else entirely? Starting there.
I'm starting to understand it a little more.
Uh-huh.
But I'm dabbling into it.
Okay. And this ain't just with ICT concepts. ICT concepts just give you signatures to look for to help you with your analysis and help you with your confirmation, right? But with ICT concepts and any other method you use to trade, you always want to start with the narrative, right? You want to start with the narrative. What is price trying to do, right? What is price trying to do, okay? And so the ICT concepts just gives you signatures to look for. So we right now we're going to kind of like start at the day. Tasha, what? Hey, Empire Traders, hold on, Empire Traders. I'm sorry, y'all. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. Tasha, what's going on with you, cousin, sister, home girl? What's up? Where my homeboy Snoopy at? What's going on? I see you. I can't hear you, but I see you. What's going on?
Hey.
Hey. Just want to say, hey, I see you pop in. I said, hold on. I got to stop the presses. Okay, what you got? Braids? They got the braids up?
Some twists.
Long hair, don't care. When she walks, she gets stairs. All right. I'm about to get back to what I was talking about. Tell my homeboy Snoopy I said,
He said hello.
all right, man. Hey, so Empire Traders, back to what I was saying, right? You always want to start with the narrative. Like, what is the narrative? Okay. So looking at yesterday, this is like this black line up here and this black line down there. That's our yesterday's daily range, right? That's our yesterday's daily range, right? So are you familiar with a buy program and a sell program with ICT concepts, right? Are you familiar with a buy program and sell program? Hmm?
In a sense, yes.
In a sense, okay. Well, we're gonna shore it up real quick just in case, right? So a buy program, well, a sell program is when price is respecting premium PD arrays and pushing through discount PD arrays. In other words, a downtrend. In other words, we're making lower highs and lower lows, right? A downtrend. Okay. It's in a sell program. A buy program is when you're respecting discount PD arrays and pushing through um, premium PD arrays, and you're making higher highs and higher lows, right? So now, with that being said, right, with yesterday's daily range, right? So we were in a sell program and yesterday's daily range, right? Yesterday's daily range is giving us our dealing range that we're in, okay? And overnight, all the way up into just before 9:30, price had switched to a buy program on this 15-minute time frame, okay? So price has switched to a buy program on the 15-minute time frame here, okay? And so at this point here on 15 minutes or lower, right, this buy program is telling you to look for reasons to sell until we get somewhere of significance. And what's that significance? Anything on a higher time frame. Okay. So at this point here, we shouldn't be looking for price to sell off until it gives us a reason that it should start selling off on this 15 minutes or lower. I just picked this chart right here. No really rhyme or reason to why I picked it. I just picked it here. Okay. So now we're going to zoom out, right? The first thing we want to do is zoom all the way out before we start doing anything. We just got a quick snapshot of where we were right now in price. And looking at our dealing range right here, right? Coming into 9:30, right? Price is hovering pretty much right in the middle, right? So if price is hovering right in the middle, right? If we go over here, find the highest high, come down to the lowest low, right, of that daily range, right? We're kind of hovering right around the middle there, right? They call that equilibrium, the middle of the road. I call it the middle of the road. So when price is in the middle of the road, you don't try to force price to do anything, right? You just look at what is the narrative now. Are we in a buy program or a sell program, right? And then we stick to that buy program or sell program until it fails. All right. So now looking at this, now we zoom out, right? We zoom out here, and then we looking at price where we are right there, right? And then if you notice, right, this right here, that low there, and that high right there, right? That right there is the most recent displacement of this entire range here, right? That's the highest high from where price is here. This is the highest high and the lowest low from where price is now. right? And if we look at our entire dealing range, we see we're also right smack dab in the middle of our entire dealing range, right? So right now you say, okay, we're right in the middle. So I'm not trying to force anything. I'm going to wait for price to give me a signature. Okay, remember what we said. From here, we can see price was in a sale program, right? Since we got down here, what has price done? Price has moved into a buy program, right? Price has moved into a buy program. So over here, since price is in a buy program, right? You're looking for price to continue in this buy program until it fails, right? Why you say until it fails? Because overall, we're still in a sale program, higher time frame up. We're still in the sale program, but right now, this price range here is in a we're still in a sale program, but right now we're in a buy program. What does that mean? Right? That means that we have went to the right side of a market maker buy model, right? Price has switched from a sell program to a buy program. So now we're on the right side of a market maker buy model, right? Anytime you're on the right side of a market maker buy model, right? You're looking for reasons to buy until that buy program fails, right? When do you anticipate that buy program fail? When you complete a market maker model, once you complete the market maker model, right? So now that we got all of that in place, we got the narrative of right now prices in a buy program on the 15 minutes and lower, but we're right here at equilibrium. We're in the middle. Price is chilling out in the middle, and it's engineering liquidity now. It's engineering liquidity. Okay. So now, right, when we move up in time to a 4-hour time frame, right? We move up to a 4-hour time frame, we see, right, that price is in a buy program on the 4-hour time frame, right? So now from the 4-hour on down, like 4-hour is in a buy program, right? The 4-hour has come back up to a premium and it has moved back to equilibrium, right? So if price is in a buy program, it's refusing to take out the low, right? So now we're looking toward highs, right? So now our 4-hour time frame is telling us we need to be looking up, right? On our daily time frame, right? On our daily time frame, we had come all the way up to the highest PD array, the highest imbalance on the daily chart on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we traded back down. Remember, we talked about this. We traded back down into consequent encroachment of these discount wicks, right? And then here, over here, if we look right here, yesterday, when we said we have a discount PD array sitting right here, consequent encroachment of a wick, right? And before I go any further than that, right? If you have ever heard Michael talk about an implied fair value gap, right? You notice that we have this huge up candle right here, right? On this side of that up candle, right, we have a very long wick. Boom, right there. We got a very long wick right there. On this side of this huge up candle, we got a very long wick, and the wicks overlap each other, right? If you run a Fibonacci tool from the body to the wick if you run a Fibonacci tool on the wick on the right and a Fibonacci tool on the wick on the left, right? This little area in between those consequent encroachments, right? This little area here in between those consequent encroachments, that right there is an implied fair value gap right there. Right there. That's an implied fair value gap right there. And we trade it down into the implied fair value gap just below consequent encroachment of that implied fair value gap, right? Just below consequent encroachment of the wick that we marked out. Remember, I said we got a discount PD array right here. That consequent encroachment of that wick. I talked about that last night, right? But we can't. That's an implied fair value gap. For anybody who ain't never heard that before, that's what an implied fair value gap is. Don't look for implied fair value gaps everywhere, but look for it when it fits the narrative, right? When it fits the narrative. Well, Tim, well, what's the narrative? The narrative is we have come down to a weekly anticipatory reactionary point in the discount, right? This is equilibrium of the entire dealing range, right? From the October low to the December high, right? That's equilibrium right there, okay? And we came into the discount and touched a weekly fair value gap. And then we took off, came up here, created 1, 2 inversion fair value gaps, right? So now, since we created these inversion fair value gaps, there's no imbalances down here. This right there is you're anticipating this to act as support. We got this long wick over here. So now you're looking for that implied fair value gap to act as support. That's the context that you would want to be seeing surrounding it. I'm looking for this area to act as support. All right, now let's go. So we talked about the daily, we talked about the 4 hour, we talked about the 15-minute, right? So now let's go down to our lower time frames and look at today. In price, right? Because you said you want to know why we didn't come back to this low right here, right? The 1030 low, right? You want to know why we didn't come back to that low right there. All right, so now, first of all, right, coming into 930, right, we're in a buy program. Okay, we're in a buy program coming into 930. We're in a buy program. All right, from the 4 hour on down, we're in a buy. Overall, the higher time frame is in a buy program. Okay, right at this moment, right, this 5-minute time frame at this moment has switched to a sell program on the 5-minute, but the 4 hour is still in a buy program. All right. Shout out Seawalk. See, now I'm gonna show you what I was looking at first, and then I'm gonna shout out Seawalk for a minute because he dropped a gem that when we talked about it, we got an opportunity to get a good visual representation of what we say all the time. Okay. So coming into 930, right? This is our London high. This is our London low, right? Let me do this real quick before we get into that. Knock this off again, right? That's our London high and that's our London low, right? I'm gonna hide this for a second because that's just some internal sell side, buy side that I have marked out. All right, so anytime you're coming into I know Empire Traders, you probably thinking, man, I ain't asked you all this, Tim. I'm just asking. It ain't never that simple. You got to break it down to the nth degree.
Yeah, I enjoyed the technical of it.
Okay, so right, coming into the session, right? If you're it's always a good idea to do this. Pick the high and the low from a prior session if you're in between them, right? If you're in between them, if you're like at equilibrium, if you're near the low, near the high, but it's always good to pick to identify prior sessions high and low, right? Because those are liquidity pools. If you're not near a prior session high and low, then you would want to annotate like a prior day's high and low, right? You want to identify some time-based liquidity prior to you coming in, right? And seeing, has it been taken yet? Okay. So when we first time listening, interested. What's up, Matt? I appreciate you for pulling up, Matt. Matt, I dropped the link to the Zoom in the chat. If you want to pull up and talk or ask a question, click on that link and pull up in the Zoom, Matt. Appreciate you for coming in. I don't usually be sharing the link like that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good today. All right, so this is your London high, this is your London low. Anytime you're going into a session, right? One thing, a good idea to do, especially if you're just in the middle of the road, like we were coming into this session, you want to identify your liquidity pools from a prior session, high and low, right? And then what you want to do is allow for price to engage with one side of the liquidity, right? And then give you signatures on what it wants to do. Okay. So now that I got all that out of the way, now let's put the meat back on the bone and let's come back in. Coming into 9:30, right? Coming into 9:30, right? The 4 hour is in a buy program, right? This 5 minute has switched to a sell program. Okay. Why did the 5 minute switch to a sell program? Okay. Let's look at it. Price came here, right? Now the 5 minute is in a buy program like the 4 hour. We came down, we swept out liquidity, right? We repriced all of the imbalances and we refused to take out the low, right? We refused to take out the low, right? So now here, this low right here is acting as a protected low, right? Since we're refusing to take out that low, now at this point, you say, hey, is that my smart money reversal, right? Is this my low risk buy, right? So you're anticipating this to be a smart money reversal. When you come back there and refuse to take it out, and then we take back off and take out the high, then you say, yes, that's my smart money reversal. That's my low risk buy. I'm on the right side of a market maker buy model, right? I'm on the right side of a market maker buy model now. Now I'm looking for a reason to buy until I complete this market maker model, right? Now you're looking to complete your market maker model above some area of initial consolidation, right? So now you're looking to okay, I'm looking to complete this model. You're expecting this low right here to stay protected until you complete this model, right? We have several areas of consolidation here, right? You got several areas of consolidation here. So you can say, okay, this is my market maker model there. Once we go above that, I'm done. I'm just trading up to there, right? Or you can say, oh, this right here is my initial start. So I'm going to look for reasons to buy until I get there. And then you say, oh, this is my initial. So I'm going to look for reasons to buy until I get there, right? But it's systematic ways that you buy. But we're just talking about you're looking for the market maker model, right? So now since you know that you're in a buy program and you're on the right side of a market maker model, you're anticipating that low to stay protected, right? So if that low is going to stay protected, if this is your smart, if your lowest buy, then you don't want to see that low taken, right? You don't want to see that low taken. Okay. So now going into it, you sit here and you understand, okay, my daily time frame, right, has retraced back into a premium PD array, and then it started to come back down, right? The daily time frame is retraced up, and now it's starting to come back down. But on the 4 hour and lower, we've switched to a buy program. So now we're looking for reasons for this to continue unless it fails. Where is it failing, right? If we start taking out lows that we should not take out, right? If this is smart money reversal, we should not take out that low. If this is the low risk buy, we should not take out that low, right? So if we're not taking out the liquidity, and if it's, you know, highs, you just reverse it, right? You know what I'm saying? You just reverse it. If this right here is your smart money reversal, low risk, I don't know where I was at. I done lost myself. Yes, that's right. Right. If that right there, smart money reversal, low risk short, right? We should not take them lows out, right? Right. Looking at it as like trend line liquidity. Okay. All right. So once my 930 line disappeared. All right, still got 930 line. We locked that. Okay. All right. So now the 5 minute, right? Why did it retrace back down? Let's see. Let's ask our little friend. We got a little friend that we used to talk to back in the day. his name is Ant-Man. His name is, oh man, Tim, you done broke me out again. Oh, Ant-Man getting shine today. Right? So we gonna come down here and we see here, right? At 9:30, right? When we open up, we got to back up a little more because we want to know why the 5 minute time frame retraced back down here. Why did it come back down? Well, if you look and see, right? If you look here where I'm standing here on a 5 minute PDU rate, right? This is a 5 minute Bessie, right? And if you look over here, you can see that 5 minute Bessie is from the regular trading hours, right? Because C-Walk said, hey, Tim, look at that 5 minute Bessie on the regular trading hours, right? But when you're Ant-Man can look through candlesticks. Ant-Man can see through. He can look through and say, hey, there's a 5 minute PD array in regular trading hours that we have not traded back to. We haven't traded back to that right there during regular trading hours. Ant-Man knows how to look through all of these candlesticks, right? So when the 5 minute went up and it took out this buy side liquidity right here, right? It came back down, right? And this new day, inside this new day right here, it came back down to a 5 minute PD rate that had not been touched during regular trading hours, right? So the 5 minute came down, took out sell side liquidity, and stopped right there at that 5 minute PD rate that had not been touched. Okay, so when price traded back up and started coming down again to take out this sell side liquidity right there, right? Where did it stop? Right? Let Ant-Man show you. It stopped right here at this 5 minute PD array, right? Right there. But what did it do? It took out sell side liquidity, because when you want to go up, what's the first thing you want to see price do? You want to see price come down and take out sell side liquidity. And then you look for a reason to buy, right? Right? So now Ant-Man is going to show you what this 5 minute PD array looks like in regular trading now, because Ant-Man can look through candles and see the PD array. But for those who can't look through candles like Ant-Man can, we're going to do it for you like this, right? Here is the 9:30 open. Oh, here's the 9, get on there. Here's the 9:30 open right there. Okay, and then when I put it on regular trading hours, oh look at that. Ant-Man was right. It never got traded to until after 9:30. After 9:30. At 9:30, it traded down, touched it, it went up, and then we came down, right? Took out the sell side liquidity right there, went into the order block, and then we came back up, right? So now all we did was sweep out, right? All we did was sweep the liquidity from the regular trading hours, right? We came up, we swept liquidity, right? And then we displaced away, created an inversion fair value gap. And then look, don't these look very similar, right? We came down, took liquidity, went away, came back to the order block. We went down, took liquidity, went away, came back to the order block. This is today's New York session. This is yesterday's New York session. Doesn't that look amazing? See, Ant-Man can really see that by looking through candles like this. If I go back to electronic trading hours, Ant-Man can still see it. Oh, look, everyone. There's the PD array right there. Ant-Man started to make my throat hurt. So, right? So we're looking at New York session time, New York PD array, right? Prices in a buy program, okay? Not showing a willingness to take out lows. So we marked out our prior session time-based liquidity high, right? We marked out our prior session time-based liquidity low there. Price, we came in, price at 9:30. We opened up here at 9:30, right? We traded up into this SIBI right here, right? We traded up into this SIBI right here now. Another quick gem before we go on. If at any time, right? At any time, if price is in a buy program or a sell program, right? And you see price generate liquidity by making relative equal highs or relative equal lows and then immediately displace away, right? You're looking for this high or low, right, to act as a breaker if you trade back beyond it, right? So if you're in a buy program and you see price engineer liquidity like this and immediately displace away, you're anticipating this right here to become a bullish breaker. So any signatures that's being created coming down like this SIBI right there, right? You want to remember that SIBI there. Gang. Y'all remember this morning when we marked out that was a SIBI that we marked out. I left the charts like it was when I left. We marked out that SIBI, right? And we marked out that SIBI right there, right? Because those are going to be important in price, right? Especially this one here. Why? Because if you're anticipating this to be a breaker, right? When we trade back above it, right? Trading back into this inversion fair value gap / balanced price range. In this case, that would be a better entry than trading off the breaker. And if you look way over here, boop, boop, what did it come back to? That SIBI right there, right? To give you that final thrust into those relative equal highs right there at the London high. Now, back to what I was saying. All right, so price comes down and we engage with the London low. So now that we've engaged the London low, now we're looking for signatures. Does it want to go back to the London high? Right? Why? Because we're in a buy program, and in a buy program, you want to see price engage sell side first, right? So since we're in a buy program, right, price engage the sell side and set a low, the low in question that you have here, right? When we engage the sell side and set that low, we swept the London low, right? We swept the London low. We swept the short-term sell side that was created during the New York session, right? The New York session. Remember, in regular trading hours, right? That low right there, right? Let me move this out, please. So we can see. Oh, I got it locked. Yes, remove it. All right. So go back here to regular trading hours there. All right. All right. We trade down below the low right here, below the low that was created between the New York sessions, right? So now we got a swing low here, created between these New York sessions right here. So we came down, we took out the short-term sell side, right? The first at 9:30, we came down, repriced to the low of the SIBI, right? Then we went up and then we dropped down and took out the sell side, setting a low, but we did not touch that low right there. All right. And now, once we've taken that low, taken out the London low, right? We come, God dog it. Right? We come back up, right? Price comes back up and we create an inversion fair value gap right there. Okay, we create an inversion fair value gap there on, get on electronic trade now, right? We create an inversion fair value gap here on this 5-minute time frame, right? And we've already had a change in the state delivery on the 1 minute, right? If we look at the one, because we talked about this on the stream, right? Excuse me, on the 1 minute time frame, right? On the 1 minute time frame here, right? That was early. We was talking about that. This might have been like later when I was looking at it. I can't remember, but on the 1 minute time frame, right? We come down, trade up, drop down again. Yeah, this is when I was looking at it later by myself. Trade down again, right? On the 1 minute time frame here. Now that right there is our 1 minute change in the state of delivery right there. Because this right here, that's got the deepest close right there on these candles there. This one here traded below the bodies here, is trading into that rejection block, right? That's the deepest close. That's your 1 minute change in the state of delivery right there, right? And then we trade back up here, right? Coming up. So now we've created an inversion fair value gap on the 5-minute time frame, okay? And then we trade all the way up, right, into this bearish order block and this inversion fair value gap here on the 1 minute time frame, right? And then we start dropping back down here. And this right here, this is a macro window there, right? So at this point here, right? At this point here, this low right there, right? That low right there is the low that's in question, right? So at this point here, the 1 minute has a change in the state of delivery, right? And the 5-minute has an inversion fair value gap, okay? And so when we get here and start coming back down inside this macro window here, right? Inside this macro window here, price comes down here, right? And when we get here, we trade below the sell side liquidity there, right? During this macro time, right? And then as soon as we get into 11 o'clock, right? This is halfway in between our macro window, right? What does price do? We come up, all the way up, manipulating out any sell side, anybody that was going short, right? Anybody that was going short, it manipulates them out, right? Takes them out, and it trades all the way back up here into this bearish order block right there from this macro time, right? It did it very quick. Whoop, whoop, up there, hit it. So just like this 5-minute is from a prior New York session, right? We're inside this macro window. We wick back up into a prior macros bearish order block, and then we drop down, right back down to that same 5-minute PD array, right? So right here, what is it doing? It's acting as a reclaim, the second kind of way that he teaches it, right? Acting as a reclaimed fair value gap, right? We push up here, then we drop down into the 1 minute change in the state delivery, right? That's our order block. And then, this is our lowest PD array there. If y'all notice, I got it marked out with lines right here because I was watching this I was watching this. I was trading this morning. I was watching this right here, right? We got the lowest PD array. Price drops down into it, right? It should not go lower than this. Why? Because this is the smart money reversal. So if this is the smart money reversal, you should get a low risk buy over here. There's your low risk buy, and price takes off, right? And that's why that low was not taken today. I know it was a long, drawn out way to explain it, but that's why that low was not taken out, because of the algorithmic signatures that price was giving you throughout the day was saying that I don't want to continue down. I want to go up. And as you see here, like we talked about, I posted this in the Discord channel, right? When we came in, I said, hey, we made some relative equal lows. I usually like when they get close, but we got relative equal lows there. And we know whenever we engineer relative equal lows, right, we look for price to take out some buy side and then come back to those relative equal lows right there, right? And then if we look over here, I shared this in the Discord at 10:27. I said, for everyone that was on the tape reading stream, those relative equal lows at the London low have been taken, right? Right there. There's the relative equal lows, right? Because we was looking at the 15 to see if the 15-minute was going to get a break in market structure as long with these right here. We came up, we took out the buy side, we hit that SIBI up there, and then we dropped down and took out those relative equal lows. Once we took out those relative equal lows over there, setting that low, right now we come back and we can head back to the buy side from the London, right? Because we engaged the sell side from the London, right? Right? Because we set relative equal lows, engaged the sell side from the London, and while we was engaging the sell side from the London, we took out this engineered liquidity, these relative equal lows that we set, right? And then we went back to the buy side. I remember when I first came and I said, you want to mark out prior session lows and highs, wait for price to engage with one of them, and then give you signatures if it wants to continue or if it wants to go back to the other side. And prior to coming into the New York, this was after the New, this was, kind of coming into the New York after, right around on the cusp, right? We engineered liquidity here, traded away, took out buy side, and then came back and took that liquidity that we engineered. And when we took that liquidity we engineered, we took out the London low. And then once we took out the London low, we started giving signatures that we wanted to go up. 1 minute change of state of delivery, 5 minute inversion fair value gap, traded back to the 1 minute change of state of delivery, 5 minute break in market structure, traded back to the first presentation fair value gap, then traded back to that SIBI that we had marked out. Man, I said was coming down, we anticipating this to act as a breaker, traded back into that breaker, into that inversion fair value gap. I think they're supposed to say 15 minute. It says 5 minute, but they're supposed to say 15 minute, right? Traded down into the inversion fair value gap, into the breaker, then moved into the buy side, right? Moved into the buy side. Oh, and let me talk about this right here, since I said first presentation, right? If you notice here, I got first of session in quotes like this right here. Why do I have that say first in session in quotes, right? Because the way, before I get into that, does that make sense? Empire trading, does that make sense? Or was that helpful?
Very helpful.
Right.
I gotta look through the candles more.
Yes, we always want to look and see what the story the candles are telling us, right? We never want to act off of what we think it's going to do. We always want to look at this. Now, the signatures ain't always going to be super clear, right? Sometimes they be kind of masked with the smoke and mirrors, right? But there's always going to be a sign even when you're inside consolidation or a bunch of manipulation, there's always algorithmic signs to look for to help you out. And a lot of times those algorithmic signs will be, hey, just sit on your hands and do nothing, right? Now let's talk about this right here, what I got marked as on the first of session with quotes around it, right? Right. If we look, let me get some of this junk off of here, right? I don't need none of this here. Taking all of this off. I don't need, we done with all of this. Keep my midnight line, I'll just hide that. Okay. We don't need the new day opening gap. I can hide that. I said I was going to break down price from the beginning of the week, but I think that was pretty good what we did walking through this right here. Shout out Empire Trace for pulling up with the hard-hitting question, man. Okay, so let's look at 930. All right. So boom. All right, let's look at 9. That's 930 right there. This is our 930 candle here. All right, I'm gonna move it to the side so we can see the whole candle. But that green candle there, that's our 930 candle. Okay. So when Michael taught the first presentation fair value gap, right? He said it's the first fair value gap presented after 930, right? And then he came back and gave a little bit more sauce on it, and he said it's the first fair value gap presented in agreement with the narrative, or however he termed it, in agreement with the narrative, right? So he's giving a little bit more sauce, a little bit more sauce, a little bit more sauce. Okay. Now, if you study the material and if you study what price does, right? We always say that price seeks liquidity and balance, right? It seeks liquidity and balance, right? So if it's seeking liquidity and balance, that means it's going to attack buy stops and sell stops, and it's going to reprice to inefficient points in the market, right? How many of y'all, if y'all ever heard me say, do you see the inefficiency, or are you just looking for the imbalances, the fair value gaps, right? Because I always talk about, it's like, are you looking for the inefficiencies, or are you looking for the fair value gaps or the imbalances, right? So if you're looking for the inefficiencies, you're looking for areas that's not efficiently delivered. Okay. You look for areas that's not efficiently delivered. And when we look over here, right, coming into 930 right there, right, before we come into 930, you see that price. Well, we offered a bunch of sell side there, but right here, it's clear to see, right, that all of this right here is very efficiently delivered, right? It's really clear to see that all of this is very efficiently delivered, right? We're offering a lot of buy side and sell side delivery, okay? So now when we get here at 930, right, at first glance, right, this right here, right, would appear to be, right, the first presentation, right? This right here would appear to be the first presentation, right? And so there's, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, ain't nothing wrong with you saying, hey, that's the first presentation. That's the first fair value gap that was created after 930, right? But if we look closer, right? If we look closer, right? This right here, that right there is the first fair value gap, right? That's the first fair value gap. Why do I say that? Right? Because we got buy side and sell side offered here, right? And then when we leave this area here, right, we're moving up into more sell side, right? So we're pushing up into more sell side. So we've offered sell side, right? Skip all of this. We've offered buy side, right? So now we've offered sell side and buy side all throughout here, right? Then, yes, there was an imbalance here, right? Then we come down back to the order block, right? And then we start to displace away. We have an imbalance right here, right? We got a buy side imbalance right there, right? And then as we're leaving this area here, right? As we're leaving this area, we create an imbalance right there, right? We're leaving this efficiently delivered area right here, right? And we create an imbalance. So this right here is not efficiently delivered, right? That's the first area of fair value after leaving this area right here, right? And then we push up there, trade back down to it, right? Institutional order flow entry drill and blast off and take out the highs, right? So that's why I have this marked as my first of session fair value gap, because that's the first fair value gap since 930, right? It's not the first buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, because you got one there, you got one there. That's actually the third buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency that was created, but that's the first fair value gap that was created after this session, right? And then if you notice later in the day, in the day, look at how price, right, compared to this, right, and compared to, God dog it. Okay. So compared to, right, and I drew this out this morning, right then, right? Gang, y'all was in here with me. Y'all know that I drew this out this morning at what is this, 9:45? Like at 9:45, we drew this out right here, and it's just been on the chart, right? And so look at price compared to what this fair value gap throughout the day, right? This buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency, this one, and this one, right? Throughout the day, look at how price reacted to this one up here, right? So we came down, we touched it, institutional order flow entry drill, went up, took out the buy side, right? We dropped down, right? Stop. We kept pushing down, right? And once we got all the way down here to the order block, right? Argument can say, hey, we came back to this one here, right? Argument can say we came back to that one and give you that, right? Then we go back up, right? And we trade back down again, right? Coming back down into this balanced price range there, right? Argument can say, hey, we came back to that one again, right? Pushed up, dropped down, right? But then when we come back up, right, boom, where do we stop there? At this one here, right? We come back down, coming back down. We wick up, drop down, right? Coming down. Once we come back up, come down again, right? Touch there, right? We touch there on this one here, right? Come back up, respecting that one, come back up, respecting that one, come back up, respecting that one, take off. Price was using this here far more efficiently than this one or that one, right? Price delivery to this one was far more efficiently signature wise than these right here throughout the entire day, right? Right, throughout the entire day until we finally left, right? Throughout the entire day, it was far more efficient, right? Institutional order flow entry drill, consequent encroachment, right? Support up the high, support at the high, right? It was far more efficiently used than these imbalances down here, right? These imbalances here, you can kind of say yes here, right? But once you get over here, it gets a little foggy, right? Over here, we're just kind of blasting through, right? And this trade back down here, you're just coming back into that area consolidation. You're not really giving it to that right there. But once we get up here, right, you can still see the sensitivity of this fair value gap right there, right? Just want to share that real quick on why I had that marked as my first obsession, because that right there was the first fair value gap, right? Wasn't the first BISI, but it was the first fair value gap by the way that I understand the ICT concepts, right? That's why y'all always hear me say that every BISI and SIBI is not going to be a fair value gap. It's not going to be, everyone is not going to be a fair value gap. We just call it fair value gaps because that's what it is. But everyone is not going to be a ICT fair value gap. All right. We've been on here for a minute, man. Do anybody got anything for me? Hopefully y'all found this helpful. Hopefully y'all found this helpful. Again, we got the Conquer the Asian session. We're going to start May 12th. It's going to be May 12th through May 23rd, right? We're meeting every night at 8 p.m. from 8 to 9:30, right? To go through the price, looking for signatures, looking for price signatures. We're going to go through price, look for price signatures, and studying to see if 3 entry models that we outline are playing out throughout the sessions each night. We're not calling trades, we're not taking trades, we're not doing a trade room. We're just going through studying the price based off the ICT concepts. There will be pre-recorded videos for you to go through, one, to familiarize yourself with common things you need to know, right? To familiarize yourself with the models that's going to be outlined. And then because when we go in there, it ain't gonna be no teaching. Is boots on the ground doing the work. Link is in the description below for those who want to participate. There are 6 slots left. Gang, don't use that link below. That's the public link. The public link is $250. Gang, your link is in the announcement section of the Discord. Is $100 for y'all. It's 6 slots left. That's all I got. If ain't nobody got none, we'll go ahead and call it there. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. If y'all got something out of this, share it with a friend. Tell her, hey, light-skinned Deborah, what's going on? How long you been in here, light-skinned? Both of them fine.
About 10 minutes. I'll go back and watch the replay.
Oh, yeah. I think we was cooking today. I think Empire Traders pulled up and hung out with us for a little while in the Discord. Oh, he's still in there. He changed his name back to Empire Traders. I'm not a Discord, in the Zoom. I said a Discord in the Zoom. Tasha pulled up. Y'all remember Tasha? Deborah I don't know if Deborah was Deborah. Deborah, was you in S2F? I don't know if you was in S2F. Tasha pulled up. Who else we got pulled up? Matt, if Matt's still here, Matt, I appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Building manager won't let me open the link. Too many redirects. What? Did y'all get a redirect when y'all try to open that link? Building manager said it won't let him open the link. Too many redirects. What you mean too many redirects? Like it didn't just go straight to the Zoom? You talk about the link for the Zoom link? Pollen drive me crazy. Empire Trading. Besides Tasha, but did it give you some issues opening a Zoom link?
No, it didn't.
Building manager said it gave him. You talk about the Zoom link or you talk about a different link? What link you talking about? Building manager. Which link? I'm saying you talk about the Zoom link. You talk about the Zoom link or you talking about the Conquer the Asian session? Which link you talking about? Okay. Y'all know my Yolanda, where my buddies at? When I click on the link, won't open the site for Asians strategic. You said it don't, so that link ain't work? Hold on. It opened right up for me. Yeah, it just opened. As soon as I clicked, it opened right up. Yeah, it opened right up. Let me see. So it's too many characters. I can't post it there. I can't post it there. Oh my God. No wonder. Hold on. Let me try to when I clicked it, it went right there. Let me see if I could let me see if I could copy it. Let me see if I could copy it and post it over here. All right, try that right there. Let me know if that worked. Try that link right there. Let me know if that worked. I just pinned it to the top of the chat, and it's in the chat, and I pinned it to the top of the chat too. Try that. It's the same link, but try it and see if it worked from there. All right. Do anybody got anything else? Let me know if that worked, building manager. Could be my web browser. Okay. All right. Yeah. Might be your web browser. All right, man. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. That 5-minute sell model took out my stops. I should have looked at the higher time frame to set a narrative, and that 1 minute change of character was a fast dagger. Today, I was not prepared for the switch. Okay. Yeah. And that's fine. Like that happened to the best of us. Like sometimes we get zoomed in on the lower time frames and we forget to zoom out. That's why we, like Michael teaches in the ICT concepts, to bring your higher time frame PD arrays down. So when you're looking at the lower time frames, you understand the narrative from the higher time frame. You're not getting caught up in what the lower time frame is doing, because you know on the higher time frame, this is what price is using as a stepping stone. It's putting his foot on this order block. It's reaching his hand up to this fair value gap. It's pulling up, grabbing that high. Then it's putting his foot on this fair value gap and it's reaching up and grabbing this order block. It's climbing up. You know what I'm saying? You understand what's going on. It's using the different PD arrays as stepping stones, getting toward the liquidity to complete the market maker bio market maker sell model. Gang, I made an announcement today. I want to get back to the old school feel of the Discord, man. I got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? We got like the diamond tier, we got the mentees, we got, you know what I'm saying, like the Concur the Asian session coming up. I got a lot of live streams that, you know what I'm saying, I'm obligated to. Y'all know I like to do live. I don't like pre-recorded stuff. I like doing live streams so we can interact with each other, right? But I want to bring back the old school feel of like the pop-up tape reading sessions, the class participation, all is right. I want to bring back the old school feel. So I announced today that once a week, I'm not going to give an exact day every week because I don't want everybody just showing up on that one day, right? But once a week, right, on the price action recap video for any gang members that's in attendance at the time when I say, hey, gang, who in here? I'm about to send out the link to join the tape reading session tomorrow morning with the Diamond Group, right? So, or I might be like, hey, you're going to pull up this day or whatever, right? If you're on the session, if you're in there, I'm going to do just like I did yesterday. I'm going to DM the Zoom link to you, right? And then you can pull up on the tape reading session with the Diamond members in that morning, because it's like I tape read with the Diamond members 3 days a week. So it's like a lot to be trying to do pop-up tape readings because I'm already tape reading 3 days a week, right? So if I'm tape reading every single day, right, when am I going to trade for myself? You see what I'm saying? Now I'm having to try to trade after the tape reading and prices gotten sloppy, or I'm trying to trade in the London, or if I'm trading in the Asian, if the Asian giving me something. And so it's like I'm taking away time that I need to be doing other family stuff or sleeping to try to trade because I'm tape reading every day. But so to get back to that old school feel, I'm gonna start, you know what I'm saying, once a week, sending links out to gang members that's not Diamond members to join us on the tape read stream to get back to that old school, you know what I'm saying, pop up, you know, Q&A, tape read, and class participation type stuff. And with that, man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Deborah, tell my homeboy Sherwin I said, what's happening? All right. Everybody else?
He heard you.
Okay, then. What's happening, Sherwin?
What's going on, Big Slide?
Sherwin say, both of them fine. Hey, man, y'all enjoy y'all evening. Deborah, make sure Sherwin get him a nice meal tonight. He want some Italian. Make him some Cajun pasta using rigatoni, no, penne pasta. Make him some Cajun pasta with some good garlic bread and some broccoli as the vegetable, right? And put some salmon in it. Make him some Cajun pasta with some salmon in it.
I hear you.
That's not you gonna hear you.
Hey man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening, man. Hey, you know what? We ain't did this in a long time, man. I want to tell y'all this, man. Life is quick, happens in the blink of an eye, right? My wife got a call about a family member that's, having some medical issues and talk about surgery and 50-50 chance of survival and all that. Man, life is short, man. Take advantage of the day while you can. Let your loved ones know that you love them today. Don't just say it. Don't just show it. Say it, show it, then confirm it so that you will know they are receiving that love that you're trying to give them. How do you do that? You got to speak in their love language. If their love language is words of affirmation, don't go buy them a bunch of gifts. Don't try to shower them with gifts because they're not going to receive that love. If their love language is physical touch, don't tell them, oh, baby, you look good today. Both of them fine. Don't say both of them fine. They need, give them a back massage. Give them a foot rub. Just hold their hand and walk down the street, right? Speak in their love language. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with your kids. Same thing with your little furry pets. The pets, they got a love language too. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of the day while you can, man. Ain't nobody promised tomorrow, right? If your parents still alive, you lucky enough for your parents to still be here with us, call them up. Say, hey, mama, hey, dad, how you doing? I love you. Go in the next room right now. Hug your spouse, hug your kids, hug your dog, hug your cat. Thump the gerbil, thump him. But hug your dog, hug your cat, man. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me, man. Till the next time I decide to get on Al Gore's internet and share my thoughts on this thing they call price action. It's your boy, Timothy Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Big Spider. Y'all be safe out here in these trading streets, man. Gone.